From The National, this is Trending Middle East. I'm Yasmin Altaji. It's Thursday, June 12th. Here are today's headlines. Israeli and Palestinian banks are no longer able to work together. That's a blow struck by Israel's finance minister, Bezalel Smotrich. On Tuesday, he canceled a waiver that allows Israeli banks to work with their Palestinian counterparts. It's a waiver that Palestinian banks rely on, and a move by Smotrich that could paralyze the Palestinian economy. Smotrich made the decision just hours after the UK and other countries imposed sanctions on him and another hardline Israeli minister.
Ben-Gvir and Smotrich have been inciting violence against Palestinian people for months and months and months.
Smotrich had threatened in May last year to cut the connection between Israeli and Palestinian banks in the occupied West Bank in retaliation for recognition of the state of Palestine by 3 European countries. The Palestinian financial and banking system is dependent on the regular renewal of that waiver. It protects Israeli banks from potential legal action relating to transactions with their Palestinian counterparts, for instance, in relation to financing terrorism. A new Syrian dress code is drawing mixed reactions. Syrian authorities issued directives to the public urging women to wear modest swimwear on public beaches, with a particular recommendation for burkinis. That's a style of swimwear that typically covers the whole body except the face, hands, and feet. It's the latest cultural flashpoint in Syria since the rebel forces led by Hayat Tahrir al-Sham toppled the Bashar al-Assad regime and established an interim government. Syrian Minister of Tourism Mazen al-Salhani said, quote, "Visitors to public beaches and pools are required to wear appropriate swimwear that takes into account public taste and the sensibilities of various segments of society," unquote. The National's Mina AlDroubi is here with more.
The new directive it has basically drew a mix of reactions from the public. Some people say that it's really up to the public to decide what they want to wear. And because Syria has been free of the previous regime of Bashar al-Assad, they should be able to do whatever they want and make decisions as they please.
The new regulations come as the government pushes to revive Syria's tourism sector following the lifting of U.S. sanctions in May.
Qatar and Saudi Arabia have invested heavily in the Syrian economy and the tourism. The new regulations reflect the influence of Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, which is the Islamist coalition now leading Syria's transitional government. There has been many concerns about human rights protections and the durability of the rule of law when it comes to the interim government of Syria.
Since the takeover by HTS, issues relating to minorities and women have been under the spotlight. The U.S. and China say they've agreed to a plan for de-escalating trade tensions. That announcement came after 2 days of negotiations in London between top officials from Beijing and Washington. Both sides said they would now take the plan to their presidents, Donald Trump and Xi Jinping, for approval. U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick described the outcome with optimism.
So I think both sides had extra impetus in order to get things done because we both have our presidents behind us, pushing us to make sure we take care of our respective sides.
He said, quote, "We finally have meat on the bone," unquote. Here's the National's Manus Cranny with more.
So what is meat on the bone? Well, first of all, the détente will extend, i.e. this truce between the two. The ceasefire will continue until August the 10th. And then we come to some of the fundamental things that were agreed. China will ease its export controls on rare earths and magnets. That's fundamental, according to the Commerce Secretary. Helpful for the defense industry and the auto industry. When it comes to chips, well, the US will roll back some of its semiconductor restrictions, probably not at the highest level, but certainly a step forward.
Last month, the U.S. and China had agreed to a temporary truce over trade tariffs. Since then, though, they've accused each other of breaking the deal. The U.S. has said China has been slow to release exports of rare earth metals and magnets. Those are essential for manufacturing everything from smartphones to electric vehicles.
Question then you've got to ask yourself is, what phase are we in? And that is the implementation phase. That's what takes place next.
That's all for this morning's headlines. You can get these stories and follow live coverage at our site. Yasmin Altaji, The National.